It was pretty cool going there. It was a lot of new people, South Dakota people we traveled with. They were all really nice. We got to travel with them. IYC, that was a cool experience. All of the speakers were great, you know. The breakout sessions, yeah. The worship team was amazing. The high school worship team too. They were really good. On the way there, we were all on our phones probably for the first day. We weren't talking to each other. Nobody knew each other's names, none of it. We were all kind of just like, we're gonna get there and then we're gonna be done with all the people in this van. But then on the second day, everybody just started talking and people were turning in their seats to just look at each other. It was a lot, but like the boys were talking about cars and stuff, and we made some comments about it, but most of the girls were just in the front talking to each other because car stuff doesn't really apply to us. Also, they were talking about like gas prices and politics. Not my thing. On the way there, it was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. We bought Febreze and we just sprayed it in the van because it was not good at all. And people were, oh no. But it wasn't me, so I was okay with it. But there definitely some of the boys back there needed some deodorant. So I went to two of them. One was Surrender for Good, which Sarah Weddle did, and then the other one was Influencer by David Sanchez, and they were both really good. One was, the one about Surrender for Good was more about like anxiety and how to control that and how to trust in God with that, and David Sanchez was more about how we influence people and how other people influence us. So I think David Sanchez's was definitely my favorite. He was really funny. Definitely for the Surrender for Good one, the one all about anxiety and stuff. That one is more like, to me, I was kind of, at home I'd probably apply that in a way to more help others with that because I wasn't really struggling with it. I didn't understand what was gonna happen in that breakout session, but with David Sanchez's, it's definitely more of a be more positive at home, encourage other people, and when other people aren't encouraging you, they probably have issues by themselves, so like, don't judge them, that kind of thing. At the beginning, it was definitely like, oh yeah, we get to eat out every day, we're gonna, like, there's a lot of choices, bunch of different food, and then by the end I was like, I never hated fast food more. I was so done. Because everything is fried, everything is so greasy, and you just feel gross. Like, I think I ate one salad the whole time we were there, and no, it wasn't even that good. I was kind of sad, because like, you think about it, and you're like, oh, fast food all the time. I think I ate one apple that whole time. Like, the only fruit that I ate that whole time was one apple from a hotel for breakfast. The Rainforest Cafe they were a little confused there for a while. We all got, like, there was a menu and you could circle what you wanted. And there was this pasta. Everybody was getting the pasta and everybody was saying, can we get that with like no peppers on it? And she was like, well, you can't do that. We can't take anything off of it. We're like, okay. So then everybody's taking her out. You could hear everybody asking for it with no, it was funny. But then they brought it out on the sheet. It said it came with the salad. That's where my one salad came from. It said it came with the salad. And they didn't bring it out. It was only if you asked for the salad, and everybody just thought it was coming out with it. So I didn't ask for it because I thought it was coming out with it. It didn't come out with it, and I got it when I was done with my food. So I was like, well, whatever. And some people got appetizers. Everybody's supposed to get appetizers. Some people got them, some people didn't. It just depended on your table, or I don't even know. And then at the end, we were all supposed to get cheesecake, and they still thought you were supposed to ask for it. So they were taking them out of the freezer and just put them in a box, and we just took them to the hotel room because they were still defrosted, like they were still frozen. You could see the ice on it. People were eating them like pizzas, you know, just pieces of pizza, just shoving them into them. The food was good though. It just didn't, yeah, Scott got a little mad at that point. Definitely Hosanna Wong. I related to her the most. She was talking about like being called names and being defined by other people, and how that, like, none of that's true in God's eyes. He's called us like a masterpiece and a work of art and brand new and all of these things, and how we should believe him and not these other people calling us names that we believe in more. So she had us write in pencil something that you could erase, like the words that we had been called, the words that we felt other people described us as, and they shredded them and they used them as part of the confetti on the last day. And then in Sharpie on this huge poster, you were writing what your new name was. I wrote down brand new, and they hung it in the middle of the convention center. You could go and you could look and you could find exactly where you wrote it, and you could point to it, take a picture of it, whatever. Hosanna Wong was really nice. I talked to her after. There was a huge line, waiting for a long time. And then I got her shirt. She was like really nice. She was talking to all of us about how excited she was that we got to listen to her, and how excited she was that we really like felt what she was saying. So that was my favorite person. The silent walk, obviously, it was a silent walk. You were walking down with everybody around you in the middle of a city, and nobody was talking. Everybody was just praying or like feeling God's presence, walking down the sidewalks and the streets. And it was, most of the people on the street were actually pretty respectful. Like nobody was like yelling at us or anything, which kind of surprised me because it's like this huge group of people walking down the sidewalk. We walked, it wasn't a very long, it might have been like a 15-minute walk to where we went to worship, and everybody was singing. And once we went inside for communion, Scott, the leader for South Dakota, he was talking to us about like what it meant for communion and all of the things that you were giving your life to God. Every time you took communion, you were saying that you're ready to give it all to God, that kind of stuff. And people were crying. I was crying. We were all just like, it was one of the last days. Everybody was emotional. We were all just, and I was really like, it was the first time I'd ever really felt God's presence in that moment. That was crazy for me. And then like the night before, we were anointed and all that stuff. It was crazy. It was real, that's for sure.